So, have you seen the video?
What video could you mean?
The one that everybody's talking about.
Of course, the one where Ron McLean mentioned my name on Hockey Night in Canada.
I mean, it's not the first time he's done it, but
But this time he was promoting the fact that I'm going to be on Sportsnet's trade deadline coverage on Monday.
that is very not the video I'm referring to.
Hi! Victory puppy!
I have no idea what I'm doing.
This team is ruining my life! I don't know, he just seems like a Leafs fan. Oh, it says he's from Oshawa. Oh, wait, what? Victory puppies, boys! This is how owning a pet is supposed to work. You give them something to eat, I think.
Some people don't know what I'm talking about, and those people are blessed.
Okay. Leafs win 6-3 in a thrilling comeback victory over the Montreal Canadiens. Boy, what a hurricane of emotion after that. Now, a lot has been said about the Leafs fan base. Listen, we're mentally wounded, okay, from years of this. A lot of teams going, well, we've lost too, eh? You have no idea. Your team lost because they had less goals than the teams they faced. When the Leafs lose, it seems like it's because some ancient pagan god whose only sustenance is Leafs suffering needs to feed. Which has caused some fans in this fan base to do some crazy things, up to and including asking for the coach to be fired after the first period. Why, what did you think it was going to say? But this shows the razor thin line between happiness and sadness, success and failure. And if you made a Venn diagram of all four, in the middle would be the process. But because it's in the middle, it's the hardest part to see. After they've lost 3 straight and they're losing 3-0 after the first period, oh, this team's not good enough. And Kyle Dubas, who's only been in charge for less than a calendar year, has assembled a team of Smurfs. They gotta get Alex Pietrangelo, Mark Stone, and Wayne Simmons for Ron Hainsey and a fourth. Babcock needs to get fired and replaced with Tom Wilson. And 2 periods later, it's like, I knew they had it the whole time. The Leafs are now 5 points up on the Montreal Canadiens and have a game in hand. Montreal wins that game. The Leafs still have a game in hand, but the Habs are 1 point behind. But I'm sure you know the famous saying, if ifs and buts were kitty litter, we'd all starve to death. Apparently that's not a common saying. So we are going to talk about a game. A game where a lot of fun things happen. Some not so fun. Let's talk about it as best we can. I watched Babcock's presser after the game, and I agreed with everything he said. Everything from the logical, like, well, they had a good start, all the way to the caveman stuff. Oh, we talk about the power play having good zone entries and this and that. Score goals! That's the part that makes the process hard. I want them to play well and do things right, but at the same time, once they hit the playoffs, I don't care if they get outshot every single game, as long as they win 16 of them. Yo, you gotta win 16 games to win the Stanley Cup. It's so hard. Anyway, the Leafs started this game good, I thought. They were out shooting the Habs, getting some chances, but it starts to fall apart. With the Zaitsev-Muzzin pairing on the ice, the Habs get a partial 2-on-1. Oh, it's broken up by Jake Muzzin. Perfect. But the puck is in Muzzin's feet. Muzzin's looking at the puck in his feet, and he thinks Andrew Shaw is about to come and get it and maybe get a scoring chance. What actually happened, but he didn't have time to look, is Nikita Zaitsev steered Shaw away of him. He had plenty of room. He was fine. So he just duffs the thing against the boards and giving it right back to the Habs. Max Domi does a good job shaking off his check. He passes it to the point. The Habs fire it on. Rebound, and it turns out Andrew Shaw did get it. 1-0. Ah, what are you gonna do? Panic move by Muzzin that led to the goal. But that's not the type of player he is. This guy was excellent in the Stanley Cup run. He's fine. Leafs are out shooting the Habs. They're fine. This happens sometimes. I know the Leafs have lost 3 straight, but you can't lose your head. They're down 1-0. Here, let's get it back. It's 1 goal. Shortly after, Jeff Petrie breaks into the zone. They completely forget that another player exists, and a goal is scored by Thomas Tatar. But it's okay. It's okay. It's just another brain fart. It's cool. It's bad enough that the Habs score, but now I gotta hear Tatar every time he does it. But it's okay. It's okay. The Leafs make a sport of coming back from 2-0 deficits for some reason. They're cool. It's fine. Travis Dermott takes a tripping penalty. It's cool. Petrie on the power play snipes it. 3-0. Stay cool, Steely Dilly 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 Dilly. Everything's fine, Dangle Diddly Dilly Dilly. It's just 1 game, a diddly 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 dilly. Ah, hell, diddly dig dog crap! Trey Hainsey, buy out Marlowe, fire Babcock! The Matthew Sonny was a mistake! Trade Marner for a 4th, make Willie a right-handed defenseman! Somehow this is Garrett Sparks' fault! We gotta change it up! We gotta change something up! Dewis has to switch to contact! Paul Hendrick is coach now! Think of something, anything. The Leafs need to get Mark Stone and flip him for Panarin. Desperate times call for desperate measures. We gotta do something!
You should offer to eat cat poo.
Nobody's that desperate! Leafs go to intermission down 3-0, and I hope none of them come out for the second. Trade them all for picks, start over, make Trevor Moore play on all 4 lines, and Frederick Gauthier. Most Leaf fans can't explain why they like him so much, and neither can I. You can stay. For Pete's sake. For Peter Horacek's sake. Wait a minute. Is he available? Can he come coach? And what Babcock said after the game was, well, you know, I thought we played good, and then we lost our composure. But we got in the room and got it back. Zach Hyman, dogged. In the first minute of the second period, he draws a holding the stick penalty on Victor Mete. 2 minutes for you can't do that, Leafs power play. Austin Matthews with time and space, snipe? Really? Matthews snipes it 5-hole on Carey Price, and more commonly, snipes it on Carey Price. Does Matthews have more goals against Carey Price than any other goalie? I'm serious. Which, given how much both of them have been injured in their respective careers against each other, would be especially amazing. Also the fact of, it's Carey freaking Price. Matthews has more goals against Price this season than a few guys on the team have goals, period. And what I liked especially about the goal after it, and everyone's giving a little hugs, Matthews, woo! I feel like when you're losing, you're sort of taught that it's supposed to be like a funeral procession. Yes, you've scored, but you gotta just put your head down and just, you know, put your head down and put your head down. That to me showed a sort of swagger like, oh, these guys don't think they're out of this game, even if some fans do. And nice and early in the second, too, there's lots of time. Well, they didn't get a second one very quickly, did they? But less than 2 minutes left in the period. Tail end of a penalty where Arturi Lehkonen gets called for 2 minutes for you can't do that. Whaley, down to Patty, over to Tyler Ennis, the menace! His 8th of the season, no really, a 4th liner who's been injured for a significant amount of time, brings the Leafs within 1. Okay, Ennis, yeah, he's fired up too. They got a whole period to do this. Third period, you're building, let's go! Now, it takes a few minutes, but nothing's happened yet. Marleau dumps it in, because sometimes you gotta dump it in. Noted center William Nylander is skating in, but nothing is... The puck takes a weird bounce in the corner, ends up a Willie stick, snipe! Snipe, slide it. The Leafs tie it up on their flukiest goal of the season. There's no way Marleau meant to do that. Is there? Because, like, if you knew that happened, it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? I mean, you know Carey Price loves to play the puck back there. There's no way. There's no way. The Leafs tie it up. And it's bloody pandemonium. Max Domi, hammers Andreas Johnsson. Clean as a whistle, too. Great hit. Johnsson takes a penalty and he freaks out. John back and forth between the benches. The Leafs with a huge penalty kill. I didn't even mention Freddie being a ninja. Leafs kill it off. All right, fine. This is going to be one heck of an overtime. But this isn't like when the Leafs came back against the St. Louis Blues. There was a little bit of that. The Leafs didn't want to play the Blues in overtime. The Blues didn't want to play the Leafs in overtime. But at the same time, let's just both get the point, huh? Leafs in Montreal? Screw that, dude. Same division, mere points apart. Let's go. Just under 2 minutes to go. Tavares swipes at it, gets it to Hyman. He breaks into the zone, but loses it. Philippe Deneau gets it. He goes for a very lazy clear, and Mitch Marner's like, dinner? Collects it. No one's got him. He's got all kinds of time and space. He shoots one of his 6 shots on the game. Stopped by Carey Price, but Zach Hyman! The relentless junkyard dog tucks it in. The Leafs have the lead late. Oh! Calm down. Don't go doing any of this. It's gonna be the Chicago game all over again. The Leafs won the Chicago game. I know, but I don't want this to go to overtime. Montreal net empty. Kapanen at the center of a lot of the chirping in this game, in on a 2-on-1, passes it to Johnsson, who is involved in a lot more of the chirping, scores. After that, the Habs net is still empty. Zach Hyman gets obliterated. Puck goes back the other way. The Leafs take it again. Grumpy old man Ron Hainsey steamrolling Max Domi. Riley just lazily flips it out. Hyman with a step on Weber gets demolished again, but it's a goal. It's a rule that I don't even know if I knew it existed until a couple years ago, but this isn't even the first time the Leafs have gotten a goal like this season. If you're awarded a penalty shot on an empty net, it's an automatic goal. But because it was a penalty shot on Zach Hyman, it's Zach Hyman's goal. So here's how ridiculous the points were on this. Just before Ron Hainsey blew up Max Domi, Marner swatted the puck into the corner. Barely. Riley, the last Leaf on the ice to touch the puck, clears it from his own zone. Hyman, who never touches the puck, gets the goal. So the goal goes to Zach Hyman, Morgan Riley primary assist, Mitch Marner secondary assist. But shouldn't it be a Morgan Riley goal and a Mitch Marner primary assist? Here's the thing. It literally doesn't matter. What? I can't hear you. Sorry, I'm John Tavares. I can't hear you. Kapanen, mwah. Oh, what a ridiculous game. Now, real quick, Habs fans, if I were you, I don't blame you for being salty one bit, and a lot of Habs fans are salty. The one thing you gotta stop is, the refs handed this game to the Leafs. Stop. You had twice as many power plays as the Leafs, 4-2. The empty netter that was deemed an automatic goal, and the Nylander goal, I mean. Look, the Leafs got stymied, robbed by Alexander Georgiev with the New York Rangers a couple of weeks ago now. And after that that game, I said God wanted the Rangers to win that night. After decades of favoring the Habs, he might have just let the Leafs have one in this one. It's easy to get upset. The Leafs beat the Habs again, and the Habs arguably outplay them again. Give up a huge lead. It's obviously not good, but ultimately the Habs played a good game. The Leafs might have tied it anyway, but how do you... Dude, the Willie goal, how? It's hard to look at it this way, but that stuff just happens. So this isn't a that's how I would feel if I were you. This is, I know that feel. So now let's wrap this up. I got a big day tomorrow. In fact, I think the Leafs might make a trade today because tomorrow's the trade deadline and they play. You would think they would want to get the most out of a trade, have the player ready to play tomorrow. Also, if they have to trade anyone off the roster, they're going to be down that player for a game against the Sabres. It might just happen. There were some cryptic comments from Babcock talking about players in the minors who he think can already play. My first guess would be Calle Rosen on D and Trevor Moore up front. But enough of me, let's get to you. Questions. From Justin Fisher. Can I have a book? Well, Justin, that depends. Do you have a cat? Why do people want Babcock fired? Part of it's for the same reason that you accidentally retweet fake trade accounts, because we all get a little excited. And it's not always right, but we can't always help it, and that's fine. Oh, which of these is your spirit animal? You got Cappy with the... God, I love that face. He's a cartoon character. You have John Tavares with a lack of hearing. And Matthews with you. Put that tongue away there, mister. My spirit animal is Willie on this one. There's something about just the little Mona Lisa smile. Oh, Mona Lisa. No, it looks like it's Christmas morning. Because I love that Cappy and JT are participating, but I'm like Nylander. I have fun just watching the drama. So my spirit animal is Willie, but like with a bag of chips. Let's see. Do we have any other... Okay, I'm not... the Peppers, I guess. Are you in? Never in doubt. How about that Shea Weber toe drag? You. That's clever, you. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I'll end on this note. What do the Leafs need at the trade deadline? Well, I tell you what, I look at their roster. I look at their roster last night, which didn't even feature Nazem Kadri. It still looks so good. Could the right side on D be a little better? Yeah. But down the middle, they're as sick as anybody. They're great on the wings. They have a fantastic, one of the best in the league starting goaltenders. Their defense is spotty, but they got some players back there, some good players. If the Leafs don't make any more moves, you can't say they didn't do anything at the trade deadline. Oh, we need better defense, someone bigger, tougher. They did that. They got Jake Muzzin. It's just they did it earlier, which is actually better. But what I want to see from this team that I believe is a good team, is improvement from within. One of the things we've seen in a few games recently is Matthews is starting to throw his weight around, out-muscling Shea Weber like the Gronk he is. The wings haven't always been there, but a few guys are playing their best hockey right now. So if they do make a move, fine, it better not be for a rental, and if it is, it better be cheap. I don't think they need to introduce new major parts to the team, just maybe fill a spot here or there. Because this team, I think, is good enough on its own. It's up to them to actually achieve. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Who's hungry? Oh, watch Sportsnet all day for the trade deadline. I will be part of the coverage.